Jim Vandehei, we were just talking about your piece in Axios yesterday. I have to tell you, as the father of a new college student, it went into her inbox at about 6:30 yesterday morning, and I've heard many parents talking about this piece. It's a message to college students. In it, Jim writes, "What if I told you the politicians, the media, and your social media feeds are all chasing the exact same thing? Your attention. And all three get your attention to varying degrees by amplifying conflict and juicing your emotions, mainly your negative ones. Our brains are hardwired with what is called negativity bias, so we're all susceptible to eating this up. The result is that everything and everyone appears nastier, more outrageous, and more hopeless than they really are. Think about it. Your reality is shaped by what you see, hear, and read. So if your eyes, ears, and mind are lit up with doom and gloom, you assume darkness and conflict are everywhere." Jim, this is kind of a message you've been talking about for a long time, and you just summarized it so well in this piece. Everybody really ought to stop and read it, even if you're not a college student, to think about the way we consume media and the way we feel about our society right now. Say a little more about it, because it's something I tell my kids all the time. The world is a beautiful place, full of problems, yes, but it's not what we read online and certainly see on social media is not representative of the truth, generally speaking.
Right. I mean, you just had a wonderful, if depressing, segment. And what really brought it together is we have a crisis of hope. Like, there's a huge, huge problem that's bigger than this moment in politics, bigger than Trump, because it was happening under Biden. You have a country that's losing faith in its ability to make more money, to leave the country better off for their kids, to be able to fix any of the institutions that they feel are broken. You lose hope, you're really playing with fire. You don't have hope, you don't have that shared progress. You don't have hope, you don't have the American experiment in trying to do things together to make this place better. And my message to college kids is, like, you've got to get away from the doom and gloom. There are some amazing fundamentals. Like, yes, like history's up and down, and right now we're in a glut in terms of income, and there's like real issues, and I'm not diminishing that. But if you step back, whatever the world thinks about America, it truly is the best damn country around in terms of our natural resources, our talent, our innovation, the magic of capitalism. These things are as true today as they've ever been. And you as an individual, if you're sitting in college, you do control you. You control what you read. You control what you do. You don't like it? Fix it. You don't think you can fix it? Look at the last elections. Over the last 25 years, almost every couple of years, you end up having all Democratic control and all Republican control. Our elections are usually now determined by a few 100,000 people. That means that a lot of people have a lot more power with their individual vote than ever before. And so I tell my kids this, I tell other college kids this, like, there's just like spending time marinating in doom and gloom, it does nothing. Like, you got one shot at life, and you want to sit here, use that time on earth to figure out what are the small and big things that I can do to fix the stuff that's broken. And there are things that are broken, but you're dealing with some fundamental foundational assets that the rest of the world would kill to have.
No, these are, and that list right there was incredibly important advice, especially
America rocks.
Young people.
It's your country. No, things have actually been a lot worse. You control you. You control your reality. Your living history.
I like this one.
Get in the damn game.
Yes.
And be grateful.
Yes, yes, yes. So now, for actually, you can hold two truths. So, for something completely different, Anand, let's talk about your piece. Because I want to, I actually think they correlate, if I can. Do you agree?
I do.
Yeah.
They're in conversation with each other.
They're in conversation with each other. So we'll get back to Jim's piece.
Beautiful hair.
But s'mores and raves, go.
I was trying to just reflect on my own experience and the experience of many people I know this summer living through this two-sided reality of the beauties and the joys of summer. I got little kids. It's a summer of s'mores. It's a summer of bonfires. It's a summer of kayak rides. It's a summer of, yes, you can have 2 scoops of ice cream just this once because it's summer. Who cares if dinner is spoiled? And at the same time, this drumbeat of raids and purges and loyalty tests and firings and guttings and bringing universities to heel and the utter normalcy of life in an abnormal time. And I think it's trying to put to paper that two-sided reality, I think helped me understand why it is so hard, even now when so many people are so scared, so outraged for all the reasons we've talked about, why it's so hard for a real pro-democracy movement to coalesce. Because things feel normal. As Jim says, he's right. There are a lot of foundational assets in this country that are still the envy of the world. And so I think, in looking back at history, looking back at Germany in the 30s, looking back at many historical examples, life felt normal to people. Mm-hmm. And life went on, even when it was not normal. And often the way we look back on those places is with much more clarity. And so you use the word sleepwalking when we were talking outside. There's a lot of sleepwalking happening. And I think we're all part of it. I'm part of it. I was enjoying summer as much as the next guy with my kids and their s'mores. And I think we're going to have to think about how do you hold the truths that Jim is talking about, that this country is bigger than Donald Trump and more beautiful than Donald Trump and has, I think, a future ahead of it that will be beyond Donald Trump. How do you hold all of that while being really clear about the utter danger of this authoritarian moment?
The thing is, the most important thing is that we balance. And I would say we balance these two articles. What did you say? They're in harmony with each other?
Conversation with each other.
Are in conversation with each other. Jim, it's important to remember as you're doom scrolling and you're seeing all of this awful news, it's important to remember that things have been worse. It's important to remember how chaotic 1968 was. If you don't believe it, watch Ken Burns' documentary on the Vietnam War and the cities burning, the civil rights unrest, what black Americans went through until 1965 and continued to go through even after that. It's important to remember that murder rates are at a 50-year low, even though people still don't feel safe in cities. It's important to remember that wars across the globe are down. Civil wars across the globe are down. It's important to remember that global poverty is reaching new lows right now, and yet we have at our fingertips any negative news from across the planet that we can tap into and that we can scroll into. Does it mean we turn a blind eye to it? No, it doesn't mean that at all. Yeah. But it means, like a surgeon going in, trying to save somebody's life, that we all as a nation trying to protect this democracy don't lose our heads. And we understand that we can hold two equal truths at the same time. America has great challenges. America has always had great challenges. But America is always moving toward being a more perfect union. There are people out there fighting even today. If you read the newspaper, if you see what judges are doing in decision after decision, and at the same time, those challenges aren't going to be able to be met if we teach our children.
If you're tuned out. If
we teach our children to not tune out, but not to be hypersensitive and tuned in a hypersensitive, catastrophic way, because you can't affect change if you're crouching under your desk in a fetal position.
I'll leave you with a thought experiment for people who are skeptical about what I'm talking about the country. And this is where I always try to reground myself. Think about the people you know in your life that you've met in the last year, last 2 years, that you can make an appraisal of. And how many of those people do you consider normal, hardworking, generous? They volunteer, they give, they help, they carry groceries for an elderly neighbor. I guarantee you that every single person watching would say that's probably 70, 80, 90% of the people that I meet. Those aren't the people you see on Twitter. They're not the people you see on shows like this sometimes, right? On cable. Like, we're here to talk about serious topics, and we're coming at it with a serious nature. But what restores the country, and this is what has always restored the country, it's those normal people. They figure out a way to rise up. I don't know what that mechanism is, but they do rise up. And then you get a different form of leadership, and not just leadership in politics. If you want to fix that hopelessness, you need better leadership in churches. You need better leaderships at home. You need better leadership in communities. You do need better leadership in government across the board. You need people who give a crap, who are thinking about the whole, and who are thinking about all the things that we talked about that work and don't work. And you try to make it a better place. Like, it's always going to be imperfect. We can always sit here and lament the imperfections, and there are many, many, many. But there's a hell of a lot of good. And I'd much rather live by that get in the damn game part of like, I want to be part of that change. I want to think about that change. I want to encourage my kids to be part of change. I want kids in college to do the same.
Yeah, it's so important. We also teach our kids to get off the phone, read history. If you read American history, you will find out through American history, we've had one great challenge after another great challenge, and things have been worse. And so
And inspiring people got us through it.
And inspiring people got us through it. You look at Abraham Lincoln's life. You look at his public life from 1833 to 1865. The entire time he was fighting uphill against a recalcitrant, racist nation. And it wasn't just in the South. In Illinois, they had, while he was a state legislator there, they had a referendum on keeping black people out of their state. 70% voted to keep black people out of the state of Illinois. And Abraham Lincoln kept his head down. He kept moving back and forth. He would tack this way. He would tack that way. It was brutal. It was frustrating. But over 30 years, he finally achieved his goal, the emancipation of slaves. And then he was shot and he was killed. But we all stand on his shoulders today.
You know, Joe, I think you just put your finger on one of the great failures of the last quarter century in this country. Our failure to teach our children the history of the United States of America. It's not one page in a history book, in a high school history book. It's not a couple of paragraphs. If you reread something like the Rick Atkinson trilogy on World War II, you come away stunned at what the United States of America meant to the world and still means to the world. It's amazing to read histories like this of who we are, the fiber, the spine of what it means to be an American. And that still exists today. And Jim VandeHei is absolutely right. And it's time for a lot of people who are worried about the country, and with good reason, to just get up, move forward, one step after ahead another.
Get inspired.
Just get up and go.
And it is important to remember, Willie, that as we talk about the Great War, as Studs Terkel called it. So we talk about defeating Nazism and defeating Imperial Japan and creating a new world. We hold that truth. And that makes us proud. And at the same time, it's okay to say there were black men, black young men that went over to fight that war. And they came back home to a nation that wouldn't even let them go to the same bathroom as the white soldiers they had fought with in the war. It's okay to say that. It's okay to embrace both of those truths and understand that, yes, things have been worse. And yet we've continued to scratch and claw and fight and make our way toward a more perfect union. I want both those truths taught to our children when they go to the Smithsonian. I want both of those truths taught in Florida schoolrooms. I want both of those truths taught in colleges and universities across the nation. If anybody calls that woke, you know what? Go to Russia, because you're not an American. Nothing woke about talking about the greatness of America and the challenges that we've faced and what we need to do to become greater in the future.
And with that effort to eliminate some of that history that's currently underway, the Smithsonian and other places forgets is all the people who kept pushing forward in those dark times. Frederick Douglass, Abraham Lincoln, the list goes on and on. There were people of goodwill and good faith and moral courage who pushed this country forward. And that gets to the heart of your piece, which is there's a lot of bad stuff going on right now, inside our government especially, that's eroding some of the things we've held sacred for a long time. But there are a lot of good people in this country, too, willing to push back.
I gave a commencement address a couple years ago at my old high school and talked about the idea of you need to claim America as young people. And part of what's happening on campuses is that people who are upset about all these things have been taught to just deplore the country and say it's kind of broken at the root. And I think that's a mistake. You can't fix something you don't claim. So you first have to claim it and then want to fix it. But I think Jim's giving a very important message of what we should tell young people. But thinking back to Ratner's segment, the best way to deliver this message to young people is to show it to them. Show them an economy that rewards their effort. When they, the ones who really bust their hump at the computer lab or whatever, reward them for their efforts. When you see so many people now, we have a post-human economy where AI stocks are soaring, but kids can't get a job, who are brilliant coming out of college. If you want young people to have hope and deal with that crisis of hope Jim talked about, the best way to do it is to show them that life has cause and effect, that their dreams come true when they take all the steps, that their end of the bargain to achieve those dreams.
The Inc.'s Anand Giridharadas, Axios co-founder and CEO Jim Vandehei, thank you both for this amazing conversation.